Joy Behar gets creamed by a guest on her show after she asks one Trump question. Guys, this is going to be a fun one. So don't judge me, all right? But I was browsing The View the other day, all right? Perusing around. I watched a couple of clips. Yes, look, it was a bout of insanity, all right? Just don't judge me, all right? I know, it was crazy. But while I was doing that, I saw Joy Behar just frothing at the mouth about Trump as usual, and I couldn't help but remember the time back in the day when Kellyanne Conway totally smoked Behar and her ridiculous TDS. And I just had to pull this old clip up, guys. It is a good one, and we're gonna get right into it. But first, everybody, please help me out here, all right? Like our video, share it around, and if you're new, subscribe to the Resistance Mainstream YouTube channel so we can keep bringing you guys this great content. As always, everybody, I'm your host, Darian. Let's get into the show.
So, Kelly, here's what I want to ask you. When I was 12 years old, they made us go under the desk and hide because the nuclear bomb was about to hit. And I never brought my library books back because I thought, well, we're going to die anyway. What's the point? So you're a guy, Donald Trump. He's very cavalier about using nuclear weapons. And, and even Europe is off the table. I mean, what? Aren't you petrified? You have 4 children. That scares me more than any other stupid thing he has said.
Well, I'm concerned for everyone's children. And I will just say this to you. It's Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton who gave their president and secretary of state. They did this Iran nuclear deal.
You're not answering that. You're not asking the question.
Well, here's how I answer the question.
The nuclear deal is a controversial thing in Iran. Wait a second. A lot of people believe that will prevent nuclear war for 10 years. Okay, but that's not my question. My question is his rhetoric is off the wall on this topic.
It's not, actually.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
And, words mean a lot.
Words do matter.
I have a grandson. I want to see him get old.
Words do matter, and you should check out Hillary Clinton's words.
Again, with the Hillary Clinton.
Okay, we'll talk about Donald Trump. Donald Trump is winning. And in terms of the ABC poll, I think the most important thing. Nuclear thing.
What, he doesn't mean it? What? What do you think?
Here's what I think, that he will not give, as President of the United States and Commander-in-Chief, he will not strike a deal with Iran that gives them nuclear capability. Well, here's what he won't do.
Is it reckless
North Korea
is his rhetoric reckless?
No, his rhetoric is not reckless.
So when he says, well, maybe we could use a nuclear
you're cherry-picking comments.
What's
You're
the
not
point of
looking at
having them if you don't use them, he said.
This clip is really not aged well for Behar. And let's be clear, in the moment, she looked ridiculous too, because she can sit here and play the whole whataboutism card whenever Kellyanne Conway brings up Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama. But the reality is, Behar kisses the feet of both of those people, and they're some of the biggest warmongers of my lifetime, as far as I'm concerned. Don't forget, Hillary Clinton was a huge supporter of the Iraq War. All right, she was bloodthirsty. She loved it. She was all over it. Barack Obama, meanwhile, he claims to be such this peaceful guy. He even got the Nobel Peace Prize for some ridiculous reason. Well, Obama, have we all forgotten about what he did in Libya? The whole overthrowing of Muammar Gaddafi, that whole thing, what a shit show that was after. Even Obama himself admitted to being a mistake, believe it or not. For as arrogant as that guy is, even he sometimes has some self-awareness. But it doesn't erase the fact that he did it, and it was bad. Then consider all of this, and remember that Donald Trump is the only president of my lifetime, and the lifetimes of many other young people as well, to start no new wars. Can't say that for Obama. Can't say that for Clinton, in a sense, because she voted for the Iraq War. I know she wasn't president. Still, she was totally supporting it. Can't say that for George Bush. The list goes on and on.
What kind of talk is that?
And he's talked about what that means. He doesn't mean that he's going to go and use them. And first of all, this nation has many people in charge of
I like you.
Well, thank you. I like you too.
I think that right here you're being delusional.
No, I'm not. I'm not being delusional.
I really do. I like you a lot. She's a nice Italian girl. This is a nice Italian girl.
Joy, remember we talked.
But she scares me when she thinks that.
I'll tell you what scares me. I'll tell you what scares me. I tell you what scares me, though. What scares me is the fact that Hillary Clinton always puts Hillary first. It does. It scares me. Guys, you want her to be the president of the United States, and you should look at her entire record. You should see what she's done in office as commander-in-chief. She owns the Russia reset. She owns Syria. She owns Libya. She owns the Middle East. She has not proven herself to be fit or qualified to be commander-in-chief.
The opposite side of this argument is also that I think some of his appeal is the talk toughness that he has. That,
well, we'd like a tough leader,
I'm less afraid of rhetoric. I'm more afraid of terrorism. So I think that there is an appeal to someone who is
on the rise.
Tackle that.
Yes.
Facts. And that, in my opinion, is exactly why Putin was not willing to do anything when Trump was in office in terms of an aggressive foreign policy. Think about it. He went and moved on Crimea back in 2014 when Barack Obama was in office, and then did nothing for all the time Trump was in office. And then later on, lo and behold, Joe Biden gets into office and Putin invades Ukraine. Believe me when I say that's not a coincidence. It just isn't. And if you don't believe me, take a look at some of the interactions Donald Trump and Putin had. Trump was alphaing the guy, okay? You ever seen the handshake video between the two? Trump grabs Putin, pulls him in. Nice to meet you. It was good, all right? Say what you want about Trump. You can like him, you can hate him, whatever. He exudes toughness, especially on the foreign stage, and that matters. It matters a lot, especially with America, with how involved we are all over the world, for better or for worse.
I want to say something about his supporters. I want to say something about his supporters. You mentioned earlier the one supporter in Arizona who I'm told by our head of security and a retired police department official from Arizona was removed from that rally. I immediately condemned it the moment I saw it publicly.
I'm sorry, I'm lost.
The guy in Arizona. And I want to tell you something. I go to these rallies with Donald Trump. I really want you to look at all of the people there because some people get there, they're there for 8 hours. And you know why? They believe in him. They feel like they're part of a movement. They want to be there because they feel like he will make us more safe and more prosperous. And you can't just dismiss. You want to attack him and something he said, great. But you could do that. This
now,
is
I heard that Melania is giving a speech. Does it start 7 years ago?
And it doesn't need to. It starts with...
When's the speech?
The speech is tomorrow at 2 p.m. outside of Philadelphia. I'll be with her. She's written a beautiful speech, and she's a wonderful person. I think people are very curious to hear what she has to say. She'll talk about her life here, her life in Slovenia, where she grew up, and the love of America when she was growing up, and how it was not enough to just know about America, but she wanted to be in America.
That's
and
how
she waited 10 years through the normal channels.
That is exactly how most immigrants feel in this country.
And what she would do as first lady.
They all love that, America.
Yes, we all do.
You know, you're Italian. They kissed the ground when they came over here from Calabria.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true about all immigrants loving America. I certainly wish it was, and plenty of them are good people, but I've also seen a lot who are very ungrateful. Namely ones who will fly the flag of another country and then complain about how racist it is here. Really, it's so racist and terrible. Why don't you just, leave and go back to your home country then, instead of hanging out here and complaining about it? I find it just incredible, okay? Because personally, I myself have lived in a foreign country before. I would never think to go to that country and start bitching about racism against me or something because, I don't know, I'm white, American, or whatever, and then go and try to change that country's customs. Yet that seems to happen in America all the time with immigrants, some of whom are legal, and some of whom, incredibly, are illegal, and they still feel entitled. It's really quite insane. So, Behar, you're wrong there.
Raised to believe that the one thing that we had was we were blessed to be born and raised in this country, and that we had our family's name, and you keep your name clean.
Yeah, well, we did talk earlier about the show, about being able to respect both sides. I want to ask you about Russia. We talked about Iran. We talked about the nuclear deal. But Russia's involvement is also a big concern. Can you unequivocally say that Donald Trump has never done business with Russia, has never taken money from them, and never will?
That's what he's told me. And by the way, the New York Times buried it on A21. On A21, they buried the story that the FBI investigation into Russia produced nothing.
The audience is laughing because we haven't seen his tax returns. Then we would know something.
There's a one. Yes, I'm telling you. You know plenty. Here's what you.
Well, I don't know what the audience has to laugh about, considering that whole entire Russian hoax was proven for what it was, a hoax. And it's just incredible that CNN was talking about that for 3 years. Frankly, I think they should be held legally liable for lying so much. That's my opinion. And no, that doesn't make me against the First Amendment, despite what somebody might try to claim. That aside, the whole tax return thing, made up issue. It's so stupid. Trump's tax returns. Who cares? Honestly, I'm serious. You know what I'm more outraged about than Donald Trump potentially saving some money on his taxes? I'm more outraged at how this government steals our money and then spends it on stupid stuff. Just look at Ukraine, for instance. We've sent $250 billion there. You can hand every homeless person in the U.S. $380,000 each in a cash payment with that money. I'm not saying that to say we should hand them cash, of course. That's not the point. The point is they care more about foreign nations than they do their own country or their own country's people. It's profoundly disgusting. So no, I don't really care if Donald Trump saved money on his taxes. But that aside, Donald Trump really pays a lot in taxes. You guys remember when Rachel Maddow leaked his tax returns, his 05 tax return specifically? That found that Trump was paying tens of millions of dollars in taxes. Quite a bit of money. In fact, he was paying a higher effective tax rate than Bernie Sanders was. You know, the guy who says millionaires and billionaires, they're hoarding all the wealth, they're stealing all the money, they need to pay the fair share. Yeah, Trump was paying more than him, both in sheer volume, obviously, and percentage. Yet here they are talking about how Trump is the greedy capitalist stuffing his pockets. Right.
You know about Donald Trump. that Donald Trump fixes things, builds things, solves problems.
It's
Hillary
his
Clinton
name
went
on
from
everything.
dead broke to $250 million. No, it's not. It's not his
Somebody
name.
tell me Trump
He
Tower is
employs
made
tens
with
of thousands
Chinese
of people,
steel.
including women. He employs tens of thousands of people, including women. And you
Really?
know,
I haven't
he's the
met him.
first Republican to ever elevate a woman to this position as presidential campaign manager.
Yeah, he loves women, right?
Yes, he
Come
does.
on.
Yes, he
Come
does.
on,
He's very
Kellyanne.
respectful toward women. And instead of, how about, I know we're not supposed to mention Hillary Clinton is also running for president. Went from dead broke to $250 million. You know what? People should ask them how they did that. They didn't hit the Powerball.
You know what?
They didn't
This is
take
listen. This
company
guy has
public.
lost more money than most of us will ever make in our lifetime.
Self-made billionaire.
He has
Won't
lost
even give
more
him a
money.
loan. He's the
If you want to talk about nitpicking, I just want to know what his actual plan is. I love that you come and you make a very good argument for him. Something he seems incapable of doing for himself.
Then why is he winning in your
You know,
polls?
he's winning in the polls because lots of innuendo. He's played this like you play Apprentice. You put a little innuendo out there and you make it bad for your opponent. I know his show. I know his shtick. I get it. The polls go like this and they always have. But we're not going to know anything. Nobody's celebrating anything until the day after. And if he becomes the president, then he will be the president. But if she becomes the president, you don't have to deal with the same thing.
I will.
Okay?
Yeah, I certainly will.
And
But
he
by the way,
Very
he
good.
says he will be the president
No,
of all
I'm
people,
just
including
saying.
those who don't support him.
Yeah, I heard him say I don't believe it, but
everybody
that's
was
okay.
I'm really curious to know what Whoopi said after Trump won the election. Did she just deal with it, just like she said you have to deal with it if Hillary Clinton wins?
Rating
am I
ABC
talking?
poll
Oh, I'm
50
so
to
sorry.
38.
Sorry.
Okay, I'll just sit here and go.
We want to say, Kellyanne, I mean, there are a lot of mixed emotions.
All right, guys, we're going to have to cut it off right there. The craziness just keeps going and going, and frankly, it's a bit exhausting. Can't take it. So that's it for today, but thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. As always, please be sure to comment below. Let us know what you liked about the clip, what kind of content you want to see in the near future, and we'll see you guys again soon. Thanks, and God bless.